Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you a topic that I was chatting with a colleague about on the phone today. Early on when I started coaching back in around 1999-2000, I was trained by a gentleman in Australia named Ernesto Ceroli. He was best known for helping people out of the recession that Australia hit and teaching people how to build a business without money. I remember when he came to do a training in my hometown, we sat around and he said to me, "Chris, do you call clients?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I call clients all the time." And at that time, I was a consultant, not a coach. And I was looking to transition to coach because I wanted to teach people how to do what I did so that I wouldn't have to keep working with them. And I know that sounds weird, but consultants focus on dependency, right? Getting clients dependent on what they do. Coaches, if they're doing their job, should coach their way out of a job, which means give clients the tools where they can succeed without you. And so when Ernesto said to me, "Do you call your clients?" I thought, yeah, obviously I call my clients. And he's like, "Don't call them. You call them back." And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, what does that mean? Now, granted, I was a 26-year-old at the time. And so he could see that I was a bit confused on what he was saying. And he said, if you call your clients, they're going to get used to you calling to check in with them. Empower them to call you when they need you. And if they don't get you, you can call them back. But if they become used to the dynamic that you're always going to check in with them, they won't be trained to use you when they need you. And so as I was sharing this story with my colleague today, I said to him that I had built on that over the years by training the Go CEOs to be swim instructors, not lifeguards. And so what does that mean? Clients will get themselves into trouble accidentally or actually through their own actions. And if you just swim out and pull them back to shore, they don't take any responsibility in the fix. They just think that they're paying you to fix things. And the challenge with that is when they continue to get themselves into trouble, number one, you haven't empowered them to come up with solutions on their own. And number two, if that solution doesn't go well, it's your fault. It's not their fault. So they get to transfer responsibility for their company onto you. And that's just bad business. You should be working with clients, not for clients. And so the way I illustrate that point is with the coaches, I'll say, when a client's in trouble, you swim out beside them. And I should add, I was a lifeguard when I was younger. And we were always taught the number one thing is not to let a client or not to let a drowning person drown you. A lot of lifeguards get drowned by people because, of course, they're flopping in the water. And when the lifeguard goes out, that person will jump on you and actually drown both of you. And that's why you have a buoy. I don't know what you call it, a buoy? What the fuck is it called? A buoy, I think it's called. Anyway, it's a can. We called it a can, but it's a buoy. And we were taught to swim out. Think Baywatch. No, I didn't look like David Hasselhoff. But you'd swim out and you'd put your can in between you and the person that was struggling. And the reason why you did that is if they were going to grab something, you let them grab the can, not you. Or we'd learn to swim around behind them. And if you had to, you'd wrap an arm over their chest and sometimes even give them a whack, give them a little snap to get them and you back to shore. But we were taught that if you couldn't get the person under control, you were to swim back. You weren't to stay out there and let you both die. And I mean, that's a pretty strong analogy, but from a business perspective, your job is not to get drowned by your clients. Your job is to swim out when they're in trouble and say to them, would you like me to teach you how to swim back to shore? And if they say, no, just save me, you got to let them go. But as soon as they take some personal responsibility for the outcome and say, yeah, I need to learn how not to have this happen again, then you teach them the techniques and you work them back. Now, not to say that every once in a while you don't pull them a little bit, but you're not saving them, you're empowering them. So you want to be a swim instructor, not a lifeguard. And I don't care if you're an accountant, a lawyer, a business coach, a life coach, a therapist, whatever. Your clients have to play a role in the relationship. If your clients are looking to relinquish all of their responsibility and give it to you, you need to run from that client as fast as possible because you're both going to drown. That's the tip for today. And I find that a super majority of our clients are in really great shape given the COVID-19 crisis, there are a couple that have taken some pretty big hits. You know, they've lost some pretty key accounts, but that's why we're in the dojo, is we're learning, you know, the business kung fu to be able to come out fighting, and we just focus on our fundamentals. And so with those clients that are struggling a little bit, what I'm doing is I'm reminding them of the strokes, right? I'm reminding them this is how we get back to shore. What got them busy will keep them busy, and if they've lost a couple of key accounts, we just go back and get more accounts using the things that we used 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. Nothing has shifted. The technique is the technique. The only difference is the discipline to implement. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. You can always email me, chris@GoCEO, and just remember, your job is not to save people. Your job is to empower people. If you see yourself as being someone who is to save others, you're likely going to suffer, and so will your clients. So think about changing your mindset ever so slightly. And as Ernesto said, don't call your clients, you call them back. Let them know that you're here to support them, but let them take the action when they need help. Anyway, talk to you soon, and remember, gladiators eat first. See you in the next video.